Alright, I'm going to take a stab here at a video maybe to help you with getting your rhythm down a little bit. There is on that Mando lessons, there is also, if I recall, I believe he's got, in fact I can go look, I believe he's got a lesson or two on rhythm / chop chords, so you could also give that a try. Um, so it sounds like the thing that you're having trouble visualizing from the audio only is the chord shapes, and that's certainly understandable. One thing that makes it a little hard on my mandolin, I didn't ask, in fact I didn't want position dots. I wanted the simple look of just the ebony fretboard, so it's going to be, I'll have to still call them out to you, but you know, so let's go over the shapes, and I'm going to call these shapes 1, shape 2, shape 3, because you know, as discussed, the shapes are very movable on the mandolin. In fact, that's one of the beauties of it. It's almost like playing bar chords on an electric guitar or something. So, and you have to move them depending on what key you're in. So let's start with shape 1. Good place to start. My middle finger is on the 4th fret of the Gauss string. My ring finger is on the 5th fret of the delta string. And then my index finger goes down on the 2nd fret of the alpha string. And I deaden the E string. I don't want it to sound. I can use my pinky, or I can use the flat part of my index finger kind of bent over it. That's going to be shape 1. And because of the frets that I'm at, that is a G chord. So that's shape 1, G chord. Shape 2 is going to be this. My ring finger is going down on the 5th fret of the Gauss string. My index finger is going down on the 2nd fret of the delta string, and my middle finger, is going down on the 3rd fret of the alpha string. And likewise, I am deadening the E string, so I'm just playing those 3 strings. So that is shape number 2. And with those 2 shapes, you can play 99% of bluegrass tunes. Because bluegrass tunes, well, that may be a little bit high, but bluegrass tunes are typically done in the key of G, A, B flat, B, or C. Some are done in the key of D, or E or F. But with those 2 shapes, you can do all of those keys. So if I'm going to stick in the key of G, I wanted to show you one other thing. Shape makes shape 2. Again, ring 5 on golf, index 2 on delta, middle 3 on alpha. If I move that up 2 frets, 1, 2, that's my 5 chord when I'm in the key of G. 1 chord, 4 chord is shape 2, move up 2 frets, there's my 5 chord, my D chord. So with just those 2 shapes and being able to, you know, quickly move back and forth between them, I can do something like she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. There's a 5. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. And so that kind of gives you a feel for the major chords. So we've done shape 1, shape 2. We've only done 2 shapes, and we have had to move shape 2 to get the 5 chord in the key of G. So let's go over a couple other major chords. Let's go over a 4-finger chord. Alright, so I had a G chord like this, shape 1. If I leave my index and my ring finger down and pick up my middle, and I put it on the 3rd fret of the echo string, you know, first off, that's the same as shape 2. Everything's just moved to 1 higher string, right? So you start to get a feel for what's going on. But I don't want, I really don't want that open golf string, at least in a bluegrass chop chord. So that's where my pinky's got to go down on the 7th fret of the golf string, and I get a full 4-finger chord. So you can think of that as making shape 2, 1 string higher, and then putting your pinky down way up here on the 5th or 7th fret of the golf string. So that's shape number 3. We'll call that shape 3, and that's a 4-finger. Shape number 4 is a variation. It doesn't really work for the 2 chord if I'm playing in G. In fact, I can say fairly completely. I'm just trying to think. I would very rarely use shape 4 that I'm about to show you for a 4 chord, but I would use it for a 5 chord. So in other words, in the key of G, I wouldn't use this shape I'm about to show you for my C chord, but I would use it for my D chord. All right, so if you think about it this way, you know, we made the shape number 2 when we moved it up 2 frets as a D chord. Now just back everything up one finger. All right. Okay, so now my pinky's on the 7th fret of the golf string. My middle is on the 4th fret of the delta string. My ring is on the 5th fret of the alpha string, and my index now goes down on the 2nd fret of the echo string. So that's going to be shape 4, and that's a 4-finger D or 5 chord if I'm in the key of G. The 4-finger chop chord, and I do use that chord usually on hard driving bluegrass songs. I do get lazy, and I'll tell you, there's not really lazy. Watch Tim O'Brien. Watch some of his YouTube videos of him chording. He is kind of the master of the 2 and 3 string chords. That's how he plays. A little bit different than like a Sam Bush, you know, that's just a driving bluegrass picker. But it's very delicate what he does, and it sounds way good. So again, with 4-finger chords, if I do the same song, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. You know, and you notice too, when I'm already on the 4 chord, if I go to the 5 chord, I'm not going to try to go to the 4-finger chord. I'm going to just slide it up because that is way easier. Transition from the G chord to the D chord, pretty straightforward. Your pinky is going to stay in the exact same position, so use it as a plant. So if I'm in that position 3, I'm going to pick these 3 fingers up. And you can see it's my index finger is moving to 1 higher string. My anyway, you know, you get the idea. I just shift. And you might try that right there, just transitioning between them to get that muscle memory. So that's the major chords. Minor chords, I have tried to teach a couple of them. So we're going to call this first minor chord, we'll call it shape 5. And boy, that is a Tim O'Brien shape if there ever was one. So what I'm doing here, this is a B minor. So what I'm doing here is I've got a little bar formed across the 4th fret of both the golf and the delta string. And then my middle finger goes down on the 5th fret of the alpha string, and that's my 3-finger chord. And of course I deaden the E string. If I want a full 4-string chord, the pinky can go down on the 7th fret of the E string. So we'll call that shape number 5. I think we're up to. Shape number 6 is a 2nd minor shape. And here I bar on the 2nd fret of the delta and alpha string with my index, and my middle goes down on the 4th fret of the golf. And that's an E minor. And the beauty of knowing those two chords is you can do I am a poor wayfaring stranger traveling through this worst land. There's no danger, toward danger. Da, 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 da. So those are the two chords that are used there. So we've gotten up to 4. What have we gotten up to? We did 4. This was 5, and this was 6, the E minor. And again, everything is movable. There is one other minor shape. Actually, there's numerous other minor shapes. Let's stick with those, just those shapes right there. So maybe that'll help you. If not, check out that Mando lessons. I'm pretty sure he's got a chord thing, and or your idea of getting the shapes so you can look at them and learn them that way also will work. And there's numerous of those. In fact, Mando Cafe, I'm pretty sure I've stumbled across a chord chart on Mando Cafe. So anyway, take care.